What is going on, guys? Brewer here, back again with another video, and today we're going to be talking about the three main things that you have to do after you find a winning product to make sure that you don't lose it and to make sure that you can take full advantage and make the most money possible from that winning product. Now, one thing that I want to say is even though there's only three things in this video and it's probably going to be a very quick video, I do not want you to underestimate the importance of these three things, because these are the three reasons that I see most people failing in TikTok. As you know, it's not that hard to find a winning product with TikTok ads right now. Most people can do it. Even a beginner can come into the space and find a winner pretty easily with no experience or past successes to back it up. Now, what that kind of causes in turn is it's actually a lot harder to take advantage of an actual winning product on TikTok and actually be able to scale it to its full potential. So that's why I say that these things are very important, because the issue with Facebook was pretty easy to scale. Like once you had the winning product, everybody had proven methods. Like it was pretty easy to scale once you had the winner, but it was a little bit harder to actually find the winner. With TikTok, we're seeing that it's a little bit easier to find the winner, but it's also a little bit harder to scale because you have to do things a certain way. And most people, to be honest, especially beginners, are not doing these three things just because they don't have the experience necessary. They don't think that they're important enough, or whatever the reason may be, they're just not doing these things, and it's ending up, what's happening is a lot of people are finding winning products and then they're dying out after 5 days, 10 days, 2 weeks. So I'm making this video to tell you exactly what you should do after finding a winning product to make sure that you can actually take advantage of it. So the number one thing is probably creating a scaling strategy and a plan. Now, obviously a lot of beginners are not going to have a strategy or a plan. That's why I welcome you to come and take a look at my content on my YouTube channel, because I talk about, my testing strategy, how I transition into scaling. I've made videos about this subject before, and I highly recommend that you learn from somebody who already has a proven method that you can go in and replicate, or base your own method off of that. So essentially, your ability to hold a winner highly depends on your ability to, number one, carry momentum. So like create momentum, spark momentum. Essentially what that means is just getting a winning campaign, and then not only getting one winning campaign, but also getting multiple winning campaigns and getting multiple different ad groups, different budgets, different creatives. So if you only have one campaign that works, for example, you're not going to be able to scale. It's going to be very difficult. You're going to be chasing something that's never going to stop running. That's what it's going to feel like. Whereas if you very early on do certain things to find new campaigns that work. Some of the things that we do is creating a restart campaign, which is where we'll test out, a batch of new interests or new targeting. Another thing that you could do is doing a new campaign where you test out a new batch of creatives. Another thing that we've had a lot of success with is just pulling out like individual ad groups from a specific campaign, whether it's the initial test group, a new creative campaign, or a restart campaign. Take the best ad set and duplicate it into a new campaign at $100 per day budget. What we call those is like single ad group scale campaigns. And if you go watch my videos like my masterclass on TikTok or my 48-hour challenge, you'll see that very early on you can scale and hit some pretty big numbers. But more importantly, you can spark momentum and you can keep momentum by creating new campaigns. And this is what I mean by you need a scaling plan and a strategy, because what I see a lot of most people do is they'll pop a winning product and then they'll let it run for like 3-4 days and they're wondering, what do I do? Do I turn things off? Do I create new things? How do you create new things, right? Like what's the best way to go about making a scale campaign? What's the best way to do a respark? How many ad sets? What budgets? So coming up with some sort of plan is very, very important. And the main reason is because momentum is very important on TikTok ads. Like if you just create something and let it run, it might work for a week or two, but after that, it's going to die out pretty quickly. With Facebook ads, for example, if you create something right now and you just let it run, it's a good chance that it's going to work for a month or two. But with TikTok, we're seeing a high turnover of campaigns, which means, your newer campaigns that are working are going to die out like after, 2-3 weeks of them running. So you continuously have to make new things, especially in the beginning. And this is like one of the things that a lot of people I feel struggle with. And like I said, if you want specific things that you can do to carry momentum in your early stages, I already have a few videos about this. And if you want me to continue making videos about this, or maybe I can make an update video or something, let me know in the comment section. section and I'll be happy to do so. We are currently testing a ton of new strategies as a part of our agency, with our agency clients, and we're already finding strategies that work better and better. So I'm probably going to wait another month or two before completely recrafting my strategy, but we are doing a lot of testing. We're learning a lot. We're doing a ton with our strategy development sheet, which I probably will make a video about eventually. Once we get to that point, I'll be releasing a ton of new videos on strategy because we're testing hundreds of things, hundreds of times. So essentially, once you pop a winner and you get that initial winning campaign, your goal, like instantly your mind should switch to, okay, how do I get a second winning campaign or a second winning ad set or something like that, or ad group? Because just getting a winning campaign, if you've had winning campaigns in the past, you know that, you can get one winning campaign and then have nothing else work. So essentially what you're trying to do here as well is prove the concept that your product is actually a winner before moving on to the other two steps in this list. So the number two thing that a lot of people are not doing, like if you have a winning product right now, I'm looking at you and you're probably not doing this, and that is ordering new creatives consistently. Usually what I recommend is trying to do at least one per week. So if you pop a winning product right now, within the next week, you should have a new creative ready to go. Now I know this could be difficult with shipping times and whatnot, but it is possible with Amazon Prime. It depends on the product that you're testing, like I said, but you should plan at a minimum to launch one new creative every single week. And then once you start scaling, like the more revenue that you're pushing, the more creatives that you should actually be pushing out. There's a couple of reasons for this. One of them is frequency is ridiculously high on TikTok. It's almost like it has retargeting built in. The frequency is so high. And another thing that is interesting to note is on Facebook, if you have one creative that works really, really well, usually that's, the best that they'll perform. You might find a better creative that might do slightly better, like maybe it gets a 1 better ROAS or something like that, but there's nothing that's going to be too drastic. And that's why if you go back to my Facebook ad strategy videos, you don't really hear me talking that much about creatives because in my opinion, from what I saw, it wasn't that big of a deal and it wasn't that important in the broad scheme of things. TikTok is totally different, and I mean this like truly from the experience that I've seen so far. You can have one creative get a 2.5 ROAS and then a different creative get like an 8 ROAS. It's like night and day difference between different creatives. So this really incentivizes you to relaunch new creatives very consistently. And if you do it every single week, or if you do it 2 times a week, it's going to increase your chances of finding a really good creative that you can scale to the moon with. And not only that, it's going to keep the people that are seeing your ads fresh content, right? Like, because they're going to be seeing your ads over and over again, which causes another issue, which we'll talk about in the next subject. But if you're consistently launching new creatives, it's going to act as kind of like a retargeting campaign for the people that are seeing your ads over and over again. But it's also going to bring better results because you might get a creative that just gets like double or triple return on ad spend as your other ones. So I want to add a little further note on getting creatives, especially if you're a beginner. It might be hard to figure out where the best way to get them is. So in my opinion, the easiest way to do it is finding a TikTok that has already went viral of your specific product. Now, this could be difficult if you're doing the Pioneer method or if you're doing UMOs or anything like that. But if you're following the copycat method, which I would assume most of you are, this should be pretty simple. Just go on TikTok, search up your product, search up hashtags that are relevant to your product, and you might be able to find one. Now you can run ads directly to the TikTok, but I wouldn't really recommend that because you're violating some copyright laws. But what you can do is you can recreate that creative in the exact way that it was created by the original creator. And you can do this either by making your own creative, you can hire an agency to make your own creative, or you can hire influencers to make your own creative. Few different ways that you can do it, but I would highly recommend if you can start out with a TikTok that has already went viral before attempting to make your own, you already know what works, and then you can just basically replicate your custom content based on that original one. And then once you have custom content based on the original TikTok that worked really well, then you can start making variations, testing different headlines, scroll stoppers, stuff like that. So a little note on making your own creative. Like I said, it's a huge bonus if you can find your product on Amazon Prime for any of these things, because then you can just get 2-day shipping and it's super convenient. Or if you can just go find it at a store. I know that some products that I popped off on TikTok, you can literally just buy at Walmart. So, I would just go to Walmart, buy it in person, and then just bring it back, and I would ship it to the studio and they would film content for it. So making your own creative is fine to do. I would say it's probably better to move into either hiring an agency or hiring influencers eventually, but if you're just starting out, I completely understand why you would want to do this. And as a little side benefit, it'll kind of allow you to be really, really flexible with your creatives, as opposed to, waiting for an agency. It usually takes like 7 to 10 days to get your creative back. If you're making it yourself, you can get it literally right now. So that's one of the hidden benefits. The other benefit is you can really test really quickly, figure out what works, and then once you know what works, then you can hire an agency. Because if you're testing different creatives while hiring an agency, it could just take a little bit longer, which is not that big of a deal. Now, if you did want to skip the bullshit and hire an agency, the best way to do it is probably viral e-com ads. This is my company. As you know, I have a poster right there literally for them. But we have this UGC ad package that takes like about 10 business days to deliver, but essentially the way that it works is you pay $100, you fill out a submission form, you select the demographic of your actor, like however do you want a female, do you want them to be younger or older? I'm pretty sure that you can choose age groups and stuff like that. And then what you're gonna get is a TikTok style advertisement. So obviously after you fill out the submission form, you ship your product to the studio, and then within 10 business days of them receiving your product, you will get a UGC ad. So you can go to the website. I'm not going to go too in depth on it. You can see kind of some of the examples that they've made. For my personal stores, obviously this is the service that I've used, just because it's my company and we did it the way that works the best for us. So it's 100% based on a proven strategy. That's one of the benefits that you get from working with an agency as opposed to doing it on your own and working with an influencer is, we're coming from the perspective of like, how do we make the highest converting ads? It's literally our tagline. If you go to our homepage, it literally says proven to convert. So we follow a proven structure with our advertisements, and that's one of the benefits that you get from, going with an agency as opposed to making it yourself or hiring influencers. Now, there is something to be said about hiring influencers though, because these people have influence. Like, it's really that simple. And you can also have them post it on their timeline, and you can run Spark ads, which I personally haven't tested that much yet. That's why you don't see me talking about them too much. But also at the same time, usually influencers in the TikTok space, they already know like the kind of things that go viral. They already know what kind of works on the platform. They have a TikTok friendly face and attitude, I guess you can say. So it is really, really good to hire influencers to make your TikTok ads for you. Just keep in mind that like from what I've heard and what I've experienced, it's a little bit of a pain in the ass, but if you can get through it, it is 100% worth it. Now, this last one is probably one of the most important ones. I wouldn't say like a week or two in, you're not really gonna have issues with this, but once you get into, scaling a product for a month or 2 months or 3 months, you're really gonna start having issues if you don't have like under 14-day shipping times at a maximum. Obviously the faster your shipping times, the better, but I would say 14 days is probably the maximum. Like that's like a level where you can make up for it in customer support to where people won't complain too much. But TikTok has this feature where if you see an advertisement on your feed, you can just click the report button and you can report like, hey, I haven't got my order yet, or maybe they're just pissed off and they want to see you fail, so they'll just spam report your ads. This is very annoying and it can get your TikTok ad accounts banned. So essentially, if you want to scale like past the 30-day mark, your ads cannot be getting reported by your pissed off customers. And even though this is annoying, and even if you have really, really great shipping times, there's still going to be people that report your ads because there's no way to really exclude people that have purchased from you. There is a way, but it's not like 100% accurate. Like people that have purchased from you will still see your advertisement. But if you can control your shipping times, try to have as good shipping times as possible to just avoid this issue entirely. If you can have, 3-4 day shipping times to the US, perfect. And if you mix that with really, really good customer support, you're gonna be fine. You're probably not gonna get reported. But just know that if you do have 14-20 day shipping times, your customer support is gonna have to be on point if you wanna last longer than a month or two. So just keep this in mind. This is another one of those things that doesn't really seem that important until you get to that stage where it's like, shit, my ad account was just banned because people were reporting my ads. And I've been there, so I'm telling you that it is a big deal and you need to take it seriously. Once you're like a week in, 2 weeks into running your product on TikTok, you have to figure these things out, or else your TikTok ad account is just gonna get banned and you're gonna lose the winning product. So that's pretty much it for this video. I know it was a little bit short and I know that there was only 3 things, but I'm telling you, do not underestimate these 3 things. They're super duper important in the world of TikTok ads, and 90% of the comments that I get from you guys would be solved if you guys just followed this video. So I hope that you guys appreciate it, and I hope you actually go out there and take action. If you're not doing these things after finding a winning product, I hope that you actually start doing them. But that's pretty much it for this video. Subscribe if you want more videos like this. Leave a like if you liked it, and comment if you have questions, feedback, or advice for the other viewers. This is Noah Brewer, and I'm out. Peace.